Okay, we're about ready to start taking the guts out of this thing, but the first thing I want to do, this wire here is actually the one that goes up to the bridge to ground everything, and so I'm going to take that one out first, and I'm going to do it by pushing it through this way, and I'm going to take it out this way. Why? Because that way I still have my little hook there. Sorry, I'll get it more centered. Because I still have my little hook there on the end of the wire, and I can just slide it into the new one without having to worry about that. Thusly, we can see where this one goes. We've got our little angled hole here, and this wire will just lay out of that and go somewhere under the bridge where it makes good solid electrical contact. So we'll take this and we will thread it in there. The wire goes round and round. Ooh. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it comes out there. And so, there we are. Now, I am fudging this a little bit because I had to clean that hole out much like I had to do that other one we were looking at the other day. So, but I didn't want to bore you with that because it's just caked on crud. That's all it is, because nothing has been in these holes for a very long time. So we draw that wire up, and as you can see, our ground wire is in place, ready for us to put a bridge on it and keep moving. So let's go back to the rest of the electronics. Step one, obviously, will be to take the knobs off. For that, I have this handy dandy little kit here that I picked up one day on a whim because I was looking for some tiny screwdriver tips and stuff like that. This is supposed to be a smartphone repair kit, but I don't repair smartphones, I replace them. Still, it has some useful stuff in it. Like this. A nice little plastic pry tool so I can pry these knobs off without scratching my finish. And we're ready to start disconnecting things. What I've done here is I've taken a Sharpie and I've labeled these. I've got 1 dot here, 2, and 3. That way, when I go to put them in the new one, I'll just go from left to right, 1, 2, 3, and there we are. Now, the wild card in this thing is likely to be the jack right here. What we don't know yet is that thing too long to fit in the space provided in that other base? I only know one way to find out, so let's pull the stuff out, put it in the new one, and see where we're at. Removing these pots is pretty easy. I like to use needle nose pliers simply because I can finesse the points onto the washer so that I don't take a chance of scratching the surface. Whereas with something like a crescent wrench or an end wrench, yeah, I don't actually have as much control as I have with these things. So, your mileage may vary, and that's okay. This is something that works for me. Now, if your hands go like this, you may want to try something else. But for the time being anyway, mine don't. As I get older, anything could happen, but right now, they're fairly steady. So, I'll take advantage of that while I have it. Okay, let's take a look at this jack and what it's going to take to get it out. Once again, got my needle nose pliers here. Spend the next 3 days unscrewing it. Obviously, those wires are going to have to be disconnected before we can finish this. And there it is. So, we have black wire and we have white wire. the white wire is going to the short one. I will remember that. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to put a black mark on this one to remind me that's where the black wire goes. So, now the next thing we have to do is heat up the soldering iron and unhook those wires. So, let's get to that.